Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Features presents Squared Circle Society, sponsored by Underground Empire Wrestling. I am Daniel Shine, joined, as always, by Todd the Tool Loya, your voice of the Underground Ozzy V, and Director of Operations, Bob Magana. Gentlemen, how goes it? And be brief, because I have got so much to bitch about this week. I think we all do. How goes it?
All goes
it goes
well.
good.
Wow. I think I'm on the same lines along with you, Dan, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, it was a rough week. A rough couple weeks in the world of wrestling. All right. Like I said, there's so much to cover here. So we won't talk any shit on each other this time. This will be like the first Squared Circle Society where we get like right down to business. Yeah, the very first one.
I like it.
So, where to kick it off with? All right. I mean, I think since a lot springs from this topic, Raw. To me, that was, I don't want to say it was the worst Raw I've ever seen, but there was pretty much nothing good that I could say about it. It didn't have a Bobby Lashley and his sisters segment. It didn't have, well, we did get a Bayley Alexa Bliss segment, but not as bad as the last one. But from top to bottom, it was pure shit. It had people chanting for a refund. That was embarrassingly bad. Am I over-exaggerating? Because that was just horrible. I don't know how they put on a show like that heading into this new TV deal.
Well, I will say I did enjoy one thing about Raw. There's one thing I enjoyed. Granted, it didn't take place at the arena. It was the Dean Ambrose promo. I mean, in the past, I have not been an Ambrose guy, but I actually enjoyed that promo as a heel promo, and like, you know, the way he tied it in with you know, medicine and like that I enjoyed. That was the only thing I enjoyed.
Really? Because I thought that was a little awkward. I don't know, the whole shots thing, I just thought it felt a little goofy and took away some of the intensity that feud should have.
I agree. I agree with
perhaps,
Dan because it was too goofy.
Because for me, I always thought of Dean Ambrose as a goofy guy because he would go out and make the faces like the Joker. So I became, you know, accustomed to him thinking he's a goofy guy. So I guess that's where I saw it from.
Yeah.
So are you saying in a kayfabe mentality, did he plan this or was he actually at the doctor's?
There had to have been a reason that he wasn't on Raw. So he probably, I mean, like, no, I'm not saying that was an actual doctor, but I mean, like.
But in a kayfabe sense, did he hire someone just to give him fake shots in his butt? Or.
Oh, in the kayfabe sense.
Yeah.
No, I thought in the kayfabe sense, when I saw him at the doctor's, I was like, okay, Dean Ambrose went to the doctor's. And then as he's explaining to the camera, I'm getting, what's it called? I'm getting vaccines from you people. To me, that made me chuckle because the flu vaccine is a big thing going on right now, and it's a good heel thing to say. You people disgust me so much, I'm going to pay money out of my wallet to get shots because I think you all are going to make me sick. Like, to me, like the kid in me, I guess, like popped for that and thought that was, like, that's how I felt about it, and the way he tied in Seth Rollins to I can't recall right now, but he tied in Seth Rollins to something medicine related. And I just thought that was, I appreciated that because that showed more effort than anything else that was on Raw. Like that stupid, and I can't say this enough, GM-elect, dumbest term does not make sense because you can't elect a GM. He's appointed. So they just showed their stupidity by not understanding that simple rule of the English language.
I get what you're saying. I don't hate Corbin. I really don't hate him in this role. My biggest issue was, again, we have these just three individuals together. I don't know if they're supposed to be a group. I at this point, I don't know. There's no reason to care. I mean, they were dead. I mean, fans love Finn Balor, but nobody gave a shit about the beatdown. I don't know. I mean, Raw is just...
I think that statement's incorrect. There is what diehard fans are left that likes Finn Balor. To the average fan, he's not anything to them anymore. He's not. There is no reason for them to have any connection. Any connection you have is for past work. As a character, there's no reason for the general audience to give a shit.
Maybe it's fair to say the Demon's more over than smiling Finn Balor. Maybe that'd be more fair to say.
Let's just say the song's more over.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think there's anything to do with, wrestler right now.
Well,
sorry,
fair enough.
Entertaining.
So you're saying there's nothing then good to say about Raw right now? I don't know. This episode.
Definitely
I'm still almost in shock.
I mean, I still agree with Ozzy that the only good thing was the Dean promo. Like, every single thing he said in that promo was gold. The only thing that killed it for me was the last shot. Like, really?
Oh,
like, where he's pulling down his pants, and like, I'm like, oh, come on. I could have done without that to happen.
Era.
I could have done without that. That's fair.
Yeah, isn't this whole steroids and everything, isn't that a pretty bad visual? Because sure enough, when I saw that, I'm like, the memes are going to be coming on this one, and they were up like 5 minutes later.
And you know what? If they addressed it, like if Ambrose said something along the lines of like, "Hey, no roids, I'll get in trouble for that," that would have been hilarious.
That would have saved the entire segment for me. But yeah, he didn't do it. But yeah, I mean, generally, Raw's got 3 fucking hours and nothing. I mean, even the in-ring, I will say in fairness, Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler had a good match. You would expect them to. I heard a stat that in 2018, and this obviously has to include tag matches and multi-man matches, but on TV, they have competed against each other 18 times, I believe was the number, in 2018. I don't know that I could watch anybody wrestle 18 times in such a short span of time and not be let down, as the crowd obviously was. Yeah, that was it. Good match. Seen it before. This Raw was horrible. Todd, was this not one of the worst you've ever seen?
It was a bad Raw. I mean, to me, that's just how they are now. It wasn't. I know there's been worse. There was way worse than '95. It wasn't a good Raw, but I'm not like it's the end of the world like everyone else. By everyone else, I mean you and all.
Well, we've had other bad Raws.
I think for us is it's like a piece of our childhood is dying.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, Ozzy, it's been dead for a few years.
No. Hold on. So you made that realization. So for you, that part of your childhood is dead. Like you've learned to cope. Like you've moved on. That is not something that is, I think, linear for everybody. I think it varies from person to person. That like now, I think for me and Dan, we're at the stage right now when we're like, fuck. Is it ever going to get better?
Yeah.
Is it ever going to get good? And you, Todd, have already, I think you got a few years on us anyway, but you made that realization and you've come to terms with it. And now you see it for what it is. And Daniel and I are transitioning to that point. But in the meantime, it's a bumpy ride.
Wait, okay, so Todd.
The sooner you get there, the better for your mental health.
Todd, when would you say that the WWE had jumped the shark?
Probably years ago, but my realization was probably this year.
Really?
Ever since ever since I just took it and realized this wasn't a product for me.
For me, it's always been going back and forth. Like, I've always had, like a roller coaster. Oh, I enjoy this. Oh, this is shit. Oh, I enjoy this. Oh, this is shit. Ever since.
I still
and
do
like,
that,
I mean, literally every single time, and like, oh, this is shit. It's never gonna come back. This is how it's gonna be forever. And then something comes and brings me right back into watching the Fed.
But the thing is it's the point where you're surprised when it's good. It's not like, and that's why I said once I made the realization it's a product for children, not for me. We're never getting Ruthless Aggression, Attitude Era, whatever your favorite era is. It's never coming back while Vince is alive. So,
well, blame parents like you who raise their kids like little babies.
Okay, one, my son is 2. So he's technically still closer to that, and yeah, no. No, it's not even that. You can't even blame that.
I mean, they were. I mean, the Ruthless Aggression era was really geared towards kids as well.
It wasn't like, if you compare that to the 80s or now, no. It was a mix. It was definitely the softening period, but it wasn't full blown.
We got hot lesbian action still. Yeah, I was gonna say, not kids.
Well, I mean, I do you really miss the hot lesbian action?
Dan,
no, I'm not saying I do. Well,
liar, Dan.
I'm not going to say I'm disappointed when I see it.
I don't know. It just feels, and I'm generally speaking, I'm positive. Like, you give me a couple real good matches, which at least we tend to get that on Raw. For the most part, I mean, we will at least get a couple good matches. We didn't even get that. I mean, it was just, this was like Ozzy said, your childhood dying. It's like seeing Winnie the Pooh with the fucking crack pipe in an alleyway. I mean, that was how bad this Raw was. I don't think I'm over-exaggerating on this one. That was bad.
Could have been worse.
You were saying, Todd.
I'm with it. It was a bad Raw, but there's a lot of them, and it's. I don't think it was so much worse than other Raws. Can I name one off the top of my head? No, but I don't hold on to them like other shows.
Yeah,
you can name
a good point. This is like the Raw as a whole. We're looking at as fresh as in our mind. Can we go back to a whole fucking episode of an old Raw and think and go, oh yeah, totally. I know this is a good Raw because I know it is. Like, we don't have that memory to memorize the whole goddamn fucking Raw from 10 years ago to remember if it was good or not.
And if you go back and watch old Raws, there's tons of shit in them, especially Attitude Era. God, there's just bad stuff in there. But because the stuff on top is so good, you forget about the bad stuff or let it slide. You're like, yeah, I'm watching a guy get his dick get cut off, but I'm going to get to see Stone Cold and The Rock in the last hour.
You know what?
Give a shit about
you don't want Choppy Choppy?
I'm using it as an example.
Choppy, your pee.
Should I have went with Mae Young Tan? I went with Mae Young Tan instead.
I didn't like the thing, though. Yes. Yeah, that was funny. But, well, now Mae Young giving birth to a hand was not. But your thing about it being a kid's product, okay, fair enough. But you can still fit those parameters and be good. I mean, Authors of Pain, I mean, my God, how do you take a monster team, number one, eating pins, like they should not be eating fucking pins right now, and reduce their entire segment to a fucking pee-pee joke? I mean, come on. That is horrible.
I think it was the same guy who had the idea to have AJ Styles and Nakamura do nut shots to each other. I have a feeling it's the same guy.
Yeah, and it makes that one guy laugh, so that's all that matters. See, Dan, this is when your bashing of the XFL should be like, it's going to be a success. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. Because if that happens, that one person's not going to be spending as much time, thinking about WWE.
Yeah, dude. Though.
You better go buy your Atlanta Awesome jersey when that shit starts and go to every game. Then maybe you'll get a good product.
Do you guys think that
not going to make it past a year?
Do you guys think that maybe it'll get a little bit more brutaler when they go to Fox? Because people are going to expect more of a combat, not jokes.
That's an interesting question.
Well, I know it came out today that that's what Fox wants. But my thing is, that's not what they paid for. They paid for the SmackDown they got, not what they want it to be.
Well, they already said that they don't want any Raw footage on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they don't want to cross-promote stars. They want their own fucking stars for SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I think Dan said he wanted to talk about the brand split breaking down, but I don't think that's going to be happening.
I don't.
That's a good segue.
I don't either. I never did because it makes no sense.
Well, I don't think it will either, but it's been rumored.
Well,
go ahead, Todd.
As soon as you do that, SmackDown is 100% the B brand.
Yeah.
Not necessarily though with Fox.
No, it is. Let's be honest. He's going to make Raw the A brand like he always does.
I think no matter what, SmackDown's going to become the A brand.
Keep dreaming.
Problem. It depends how you define that. If we all agree SmackDown's better, you find anybody that will tell me Raw was better than SmackDown this week, and SmackDown wasn't anything scream about this week, but
the pace is what's better.
It is, and that you don't think that cutting off that overrun didn't smooth it up a little?
Yeah,
no.
It's probably that extra hour. Like they trim off that hour, then they're going to be pressured into speeding things up.
I wish, honestly, and we can't now because of the television deals that are in place, if we had 2.5 hours on each, and that wouldn't seem as bad.
I could see that.
But that's not what the network.
A network definitely would have wanted that.
Well, though, the only thing about the brand extension, which I don't think it's a good idea to end it, but there were people talking about it this week. How are they going to handle that? They're already talking, Fox wants Ronda Rousey and, vice versa. Who wins? I mean, that could be the main reason that they might consider it, because it's like, well, you're kind of gypping us on stars. We want Rousey, we want Brock. I can't say it's something. The one benefit, though, I'll tell you, it's like we don't have to see fucking No Way Jose. There'll be too many stars to have to sit through a No Way Jose or Mojo Rawley match. Goddamn, Raw sucks, Todd, when you get No Way Jose and Curt Hawkins. I mean, that was just like throwing a fucking dart at a board booking. That was good God.
Holy shit. Totally off topic. I just got a music copyright Facebook violation from WWE from a fucking video I posted. When did Macho Man die? Jesus Christ. I posted the video however long ago that was, and I literally just got it. It's applied in 2 countries.
That's because they're listening, Todd. Kevin Dunn is listening to us right now. Bucky Beaver is listening to us.
It's only.
Hey, did you know that he died on Arbor Day?
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Dan knows that, of course.
Did he? I don't know.
Today,
No, I just thought because he died by a tree, so it was on Arbor Day.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Not horrible.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I was going to take it even worse, but I won't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this Raw actually made me a little bit sad. And I know next week will probably be better. I mean, God knows after that. But just from top to bottom, didn't care about anything that was going on. Yeah. It. Wow. I hope we get some call-ups soon. I mean, not that just at least freshen it up a little bit.
Speaking of call-ups, what's up with didn't they play that he was what's his name was coming up to Raw, and now they're all like, oh, he might be coming to SmackDown. Like, did they change their mind like from Raw
Lars
to SmackDown?
Sullivan.
Yeah.
No, I think they're just leaving that open so people can speculate.
Yeah.
But they on was it Survivor Series, right? They said Raw is getting him.
They did, yeah. I think they did say Raw, which was odd, but I get it. You want to make it a big deal. He got in some trouble too, though. He's another one. I guess it didn't matter, but do you see some of the shit he said on the message boards?
It's not like he's saying like Stephanie McMahon was ugly.
No. He said he banged Ronda Rousey, and maybe more embarrassing than anything. But God, can you imagine walking into work like that first face to face with Triple H? That had to be awkward.
I would just say,
like, what do you say?
True.
I don't think he said that, but supposedly he's getting a monster push. So he doesn't. Oh man!
Triple H was in the corner.
I don't know if Triple H is cucking to Lars, but that's a scary image. Maybe
he's into that kind of thing.
Macho Man got there first, but anyway, that's where I was going to go with your
allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. Todd's afraid of getting sued. Allegedly, always. All right. Well,
I'm waiting for when Stephanie McMahon does an AMA and fucking someone asks her that.
I won't rehash the whole thing, but has never denied it, which I always found interesting. I'm just putting it out there. Never denied it. I don't think there's been anybody that said it's bullshit. So that's you can go back and listen to our Wrestling Urban Legends show, because that one's never been, nobody said it's bullshit. So just saying, allegedly, but it's not been disproven. Yeah, Raw sucked. We'll just sum it up that way. Shit, even the Revival, I fucking loved the Revival, and that match was botchy as hell. It's like they couldn't even give us that. That was just sad. I do have a SmackDown beef. Did anybody else, or is this just me, find it odd that they kept saying the 20th anniversary of Jeff Hardy in WWE as though he never left to go anywhere else?
Well, I mean,
I didn't think that.
I'm with you. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
But what are they going to say? It's his 20th anniversary of wrestling. It's one of those things where it's like, well, he was wrestling before, but I don't count his backyard shit. I only count once he got into WWE. I mean, they go, yes, it's his 20th anniversary. I mean, other than when he left for a little bit because he was getting high. I liked that segment. I did like.
Yeah, but he spent 8 or 9 years, roughly, I think, in TNA. I mean, almost half of that was not spent in WWE. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had 2 TNA runs, and the second one was pretty long.
Well, here's the problem. Like I said, they can't say,
here's the thing. If we're going by terms, have they never not shown any part of Jeff Hardy on a video at all within a year span of any of those years, though?
Oh, yeah, they definitely have.
Okay, well, then technically he's been in the WWE.
And he did come back in the middle of that TNA run.
In, the late O's, right? O's.
Yeah.
His first one in TNA was 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Without going back and checking it, that sounds about right.
And then he came back and won the world title against CM Punk.
Yeah.
Or lost to CM Punk, whatever.
yeah, left at the oddest time for him to leave, really. And, yeah, no, I don't know. That's like, I know that's nitpicky, but it was just like that whole segment was kind of like 20 years. Like, no, you haven't been in WWE for 20 years.
Honestly, I didn't even think that. That's like a super Marky Mark thing to think. So.
And the Funky Bunch.
Exactly.
I get compared to Mark
Daddy's
Wahlberg
Home 3.
Well, and Boogie Nights. But anyways. Oh, man. SmackDown was okay. You know the weird thing about SmackDown, and it's not every week, but that was awfully promo-heavy for 2 hours. There wasn't a whole lot of wrestling on SmackDown. I mean, it was okay. I liked the storyline progression, but...
Would you rather have it just be shit like Raw? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. SmackDown was much better. And once in a while, SmackDown's great, but NXT is where it's at now. I mean, the more and more, Raw just feels like a chore. Yeah. I don't know if I want to see anybody get called up right now. I think it's just like everybody should just stay put, and God knows I don't want to see any tag teams come up right now. I mean, God, that's hopeless right now, it seems, on the tag front.
Tyler Breeze showed up in NXT the other day.
Yes, he did. Yes, I'm looking forward to that match. They said it was really good. I've never thought Tyler Breeze thought much of him, but they said it was surprisingly a really good match with Ricochet. So I look forward to.
He was on the first takeover, right? Wasn't he in the first match of the first takeover? If my memory's not crazy.
I don't remember.
He might have been. I remember that match with Liger. He's had a few singles matches. I don't know. He was always one of those guys that was. I don't know. He felt like a holdover.
You're wrong, Todd.
Okay.
He wasn't the first match.
Oh, he wasn't. Who was?
It was the first match was Adam Rose defeated Camacho.
Wow.
Tyler Breeze defeated Sami Zayn in the third match. The Ascension defeated El Local and Kalisto in the second match. Remember, El Local used to be in UEW, technically.
Who?
El Local. Ricardo Rodriguez.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I did not know that. Ricardo was in UEW?
Oh, he made his pro wrestling debut in UEW.
Oh. Well, that's an interesting fact. I did not realize that.
Yes.
Do you have any footage of that? I'd be curious to see him.
It's on YouTube. We don't have like the actual footage. It's somewhere, hopefully. But that match is floating. I think he has it on his YouTube, actually.
Oh, sweet.
Who was his opponent?
What'd you say, Todd?
I said, who was his opponent, Bob?
Marcus Riot.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
you know the last show, I didn't know the last show we were at. He what did he do? And he threw out his arm managing.
I haven't seen him in forever, so
we saw him at the last show Max defended the UITV title at.
He does that vegan Superman gimmick now, or no? He's hurt right now, isn't he?
Yeah, which is fun. He's on his 8th retirement, which is funny because as soon as he fucking hurt his arm from fucking walking around, we're like, fucking Steve, you ate a goddamn steak.
Big.
What's he looking like these days?
Who?
We're talking about Marcus Riot, not.
Yeah, we're talking about Marcus Riot.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was like, man, I want to see what Ricardo's like doing a vegan
He
gimmick.
looks the same, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, last time I saw him, he looked the same.
Okay, he added a lot to Del Rio. He really did.
He was the only good thing about it, really. I think.
I wonder If he was the Matt to Jeff Hardy of the team.
That's an interesting question. Side question here. Matt or Jeff? What do you guys say?
Fucking Matt, because he came out when he did
Matt,
the Mattitude era. Fuck.
Yeah.
Attitude was awesome.
I was always
Yeah,
a
Never
Matt
been a
guy.
Jeff Hardy.
Matt Facts, and then the theme song was like amazing.
So I could
He
ride
should
a
add a
tornado.
title run.
The what?
What was it? What does it say? I could ride a tornado.
I don't know what the lyrics are. It's like
I thought it was I
Invited
could
for it.
slap
it's
a
Monster
tornado.
Magnet, right?
Yes.
I thought it was I could live for the moment or something like
yeah,
that.
live for the moment. That was it.
Love that.
How did he not get his poor little buddy Shannon Moore back in TNA for the broken gimmick?
Didn't they had a falling out? Wasn't
Maybe
it
they did.
his? I think it had to do with his ex-wife and the seamstress for WWE.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were fighting when they were married, when Shannon Moore and Draws's ex-wife were married.
Yeah,
They had beef then.
and they and her and Rebby still go at it on Twitter.
When are we going to get Rebby on Total Divas? Just want her to
I would pop for that.
just fist fights with everybody all the time. I wanted Shannon Moore to come out of the lake of reincarnation and just nobody knows who he is. Just everybody kind of pauses and they don't know who he is.
Three count.
He came out with all of them, yes, but yeah. Well, anyways, it's funny that you mentioned UEW because we did have a fan question. Could a deathmatch company get a major television deal in 2018? That was kind of interesting. Well, you got to elaborate on your answer.
Oh.
I would say no, just because it's not mainstream enough. It can't make any money to sustain any, if anything at all, it would have to be up and coming network on a 2 a.m. slot.
You don't even think streaming? I guess it depends how you define major TV deal.
Yeah, streaming is not a major TV deal. UEW streams its show. That's totally different than a major.
We
TV
already
deal.
stream.
That's right.
But a Netflix sort of scenario, I would consider that major. I mean,
but see, that's different. That's different than a major TV deal. That's Netflix. That's that's Netflix, Hulu, and Prime are in their own category when it comes to major TV deals. I think yes, it is a major TV deal, but I think this question was more directed at the traditional sense of a TV deal.
And I honestly think those three you mentioned would be bigger than getting a TV deal now.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean, Star Trek's on now they're all access, but yeah, I was going to say it's. I would hope. I don't think so either, but I would hope so. I don't quite see why it would have to be impossible if it's not a publicly traded company that has to be careful about everything that they do.
Doesn't matter. 2018, the headshots alone are not going to fly.
Well, even look at it. Let's just pretend this is 98. Look how much ECW had to change.
Yeah.
For TNA.
That's true.
And that was 20 years ago.
No, that's a good point. I mean, unlikely. I guess my whole thing is it wouldn't take a ton of money to invest in that, and it's a total alternative right now. Because even if you think you get it, guys, you don't. Believe me. if we're talking a true deathmatch wrestling company, that would be a breath of fresh air for sure.
But here's the thing. But a hardcore company, a company that's more about that than death matches, there's a little bit difference. Because there is a difference.
Yeah, I don't know this question if you're referring. I mean, how you define death match, but I mean, people being cut open by glass and more. Well, UEW. If you're not familiar with UEW, check it out.
I do not consider UEW a deathmatch promotion. They have death matches, but not a deathmatch promotion.
I don't think this necessarily means like every match is a death match, but heavily featured. Not everything was a death match in XPW either, but
I would not consider them a deathmatch promotion. I wouldn't consider ECW a death. Those are all hardcore promotions. Something like an IWA Deep South is a deathmatch promotion.
Okay.
There's some Primos. There's some other ones, but I think there's a difference between deathmatch promotion and a hardcore promotion. What about you two gentlemen?
I think there's a difference between deathmatch and hardcore promotions as well. UEW I consider it's a hardcore promotion. We definitely don't do death matches all the time, like the examples you gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
hardcore
that makes it
would definitely
special.
be easier to market as opposed to a pure death match, because no promoter is going to want to try to, or not, no advertiser is going to want to try to freaking advertise on something that's straight up just blood and gory, shitty wrestling. So that's the difference between.
It'd be funny.
But even then, like a fan base of a death match promotion, like is just shit. Like you can't enjoy any of the wrestling in a strictly death match promotion. So it's just it's financially not a smart idea for pure deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah. And honestly, for most of those promotions, it's like I don't even see how they can run,
Well, it's like if every match is a death
year.
match, what makes a death match so special? And then, I mean, every match can't be the greatest match of all time. Every match can't top the other one unless you kill someone.
Unless you're watching Monday Night Show and every match, everyone is the greatest.
Yeah.
But no, I know. Going to some deathmatch tournaments, by the end, it's quiet because everyone's burnt out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you couldn't do wall-to-wall death matches for sure. So that's kind of, I guess, our Ozzy. What do you think? Impossible?
Oh no, I was. Yeah. Well, yeah. Just, I mean, if we moved on to the argument of could a hardcore promotion work versus a deathmatch promotion, yeah, it's better. It's easier to market, much similar to how you can market like classic '80s rock to a certain audience, but death metal isn't going to fly with those same type of people.
Yeah. No, that's true. I would love to see the deathmatch element on TV for sure. I think it'd be great. I actually think that could draw in, even a non-traditional wrestling crowd too. So I don't know if we ever will, but I'd like to see it.
I want to see a light tube on network television, and then I'll mark out. Anything like barbed wire?
Well,
like if I saw barbed wire on WWE, which we have seen before, like it's cool. It's when we get the light tube on WWE is when I'm like, all right.
Well, okay. You said TV first because we've had light tubes on TNA or Impact or whatever the fuck it's called.
My bad. I meant WWE.
Okay.
Yeah, we never got a light tube in WWE ever.
I don't.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I can't think of
it
at any
whatsoever.
point.
The only thing I could think of is if like someone's leg like hit a light tube at a barroom brawl or something.
Right.
I want to say, the more I think about it, God,
I know.
Did they?
I kind of feel like it's
like,
happened.
Yeah.
I can't. All right, I'm going to the Googles.
Jinder
Yeah,
Mahal
that's gonna be
light
tough
tube
to
was
find.
I
The
don't know what
only
this
thing. Oh, I don't think Jinder would have ever been hit by a light tube. I have a
Well, no,
vague memory of somebody maybe swinging one at a post or something and missing. So, I mean, technically, whether you want to count that or not, but it's, for some reason, I mean, it almost
this is
would have had to
definitely
have been.
Jinder Mahal and Abdullah the Butcher. I don't know what promotion this is from.
I'm watching that right now too.
Wow. Well, I need to
watching
see
that right
that
now.
match. Jinder worked Abdullah? When did that happen?
I have no idea.
I tripped out because I thought the Singh brothers were in this.
I know.
Hey.
Damn racist.
Sure.
Wait.
I'm not trying to be, but there was two guys, and then I was like, oh wait, they're going against him. Oh, there's Abby doing his normal lean against the ropes. Oh yeah.
I was going to say this had to be in the I can't he didn't even get into the ring era for him to have worked Jinder. I mean, Jinder wasn't homegrown per se. I know he worked in Canada, but I guess that had to be where it happened.
Dude, this whole clip, Abby hasn't moved from that spot.
Yeah.
Literally, this whole clip, he's been standing in this, and it's like a minute and 15 seconds. He's been standing there, same spot. Wow.
It's a good thing Jinder didn't get Hep C at that point, because that had to be right.
Yeah.
Right
from the barbecue sauce, or was it
I'm
the
gonna have to
orange
watch that
chicken?
clip.
What are some
That was
weapons that have
random.
never been used in WWE?
What?
Nintendo? I found a thread that is, what are some wrestling weapons never used in WWE?
Oh,
I got
bunch,
Nintendo,
sure.
Weed
VCR's
whackers.
gotta be on there.
What?
If anyone
VCR's
could get,
gotta be on there.
if anyone could get anything close to deathmatch, it would be Dean Ambrose right now.
Oh, he was a
Yeah.
deathmatch guy. Yeah, you could see footage of him.
I could
getting
see,
hit with
I could
weed
see
whackers
something
and-
backstage. I could see something backstage where Dean attacks Seth with a light tube. I just don't think they do it in front of the crowd, just out of the risk of glass going into the crowd.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, if I was Dean,
wait,
I would
wait.
like fucking hide shit
Wait.
and fucking
Light
really use
tubes
it.
we have to find this. Light tubes are used recently. Wait, light tubes were used exactly once by the Big Show. I forgot what match.
Okay.
What?
And I forgot about that.
Against who?
I want to say it was Cena, and it was near the.
Are you
stage.
on the Reddit post?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I remember that now that they say that. Now someone's saying Del Rio, and someone else saying Del Rio.
But he
Big
didn't
Show.
connect,
I see
right?
Big Show hurls John Cena into a spotlight.
Yeah, we got that. I swear. Yeah, I mean, I swear. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
I
if
don't think
anyone knows
anybody's
where footage
connected,
of this
though.
I'm
We'll
looking.
have to find it. My memory, well, I might be wrong, was somebody swinging at the post and missing. I don't know why Hardcore Holly comes to mind, but that's what I have in my head. Hardcore Holly swinging at the post.
You're
and
thinking.
just missing.
I bet you're thinking of when Hardcore Holly threw the pitcher at Big Boss Man's head and busted his eye open.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Anyone remember that? Oh, that was brutal. Big Boss Man's eye was just like, poof. It looked like when Vader's popped out.
Oh, you're a badass if you have your eyeball dislodged and you pop it back in and finish the match.
But you know what? That person who punched him in the face, they should be strung up and hung because, that's not a safe worker.
Todd, I'm going to go right
Dan
out and
Hansen's
say
not
this.
a safe worker?
Oh, well, according to Dan, no.
What?
Here's the thing.
Dan
He's
doesn't.
making a Naya reference.
Okay, well,
Who would you
let
rather?
me-
Who
let
would
me-
you be?
let me say
Who would
my-
you be?
let me say
Hold
my-
on. Who would
No,
you
let me say my
rather
part
watch
first.
wrestle? Vader or
Yeah, okay.
Nia Jax? I'm not saying
Let me-
Nia's horrible to
See,
watch,
let
but
me say my part first because they have no context. Here's my thoughts on the Nia Jax thing. All right. Because it's 2018 and Nia, when clearing the ring, punched her in the face. If this was Vader who did this, it would just be okay, he's working stiff. But because it's Nia, because people aren't really on the Nia bandwagon, she's unsafe and they're calling her because poor Becky can't wrestle. But let me tell you this, how many people, if it was today, after a Vader match, would not be allowed to wrestle the next night because they got their belt on? How many people who wrestled Rob Van Dam the next night would not be able to wrestle a match? I mean, the list goes on and on.
It's true.
Todd, just because you like big Samoan butts doesn't mean you should be comparing Nia Jax to Vader.
No,
Future Hall of
big
Famer
person.
Vader.
Okay, well, she's a big girl. She has no restraint that happens with big people and all that, and she wrestles stiff. Here's my thing. I know everyone's like, oh, she's unsafe, blah, blah, blah. If someone is unsafe, we would be hearing a buzz about her. After this happened, it would have been
There
because
was
workers
already a
talk.
buzz.
Yeah, we already
No.
had a buzz going with her unsafe shit about like
No.
when fucking
We had
she just let fucking what's her name fall on her face.
No.
Yeah,
we had
nearly
a buzz.
broke back
No.
Bailey's
The
arm.
marks were the ones buzzing. You don't hear it from any credible sources. It's all the marks. She's horrible and this and that, but it's not any credible source. It's not no legitimate people are saying that that's what's going around. It's just
Your boy Meltzer said it.
he's just but you
Fucking
should know
Brock
that
has heat with her.
you should know that Meltzer. How much does he get wrong now?
I know,
It
but
seems
Brock
like-
has heat with her.
it seems-
Apparently,
According
Really?
to
What
who,
was
Meltzer?
the heat with Brock? Brock and
Brock
Nia?
has heat with Nia. Yeah,
Over what?
being unsafe.
Really? I wouldn't think Brock would give two
I'll
shits.
That's
pull
why
it
this
up right
whole
now.
thing. Yeah, I know, and that just sounds like it doesn't. Brock doesn't give a shit, so I don't know where this. Did you get this from a news with the Z site?
No, there's no Z. This is actually one of the ones that get out of here, you motherfucker.
Cite your source.
Todd,
411
Nia could
Media.
have.
Okay, so it's one of the sites that pull from like the pay sites. That would be a news with the Z site.
411 Mania is not a Z site.
I will say this: Nia could have cut Becky's head off and drank blood out of it, and Brock wouldn't give a shit. He's not wrestling Nia. Plus, I would say I'd like to hear the Singh brothers weigh in on that after he dropped the one guy on the back of his neck with that German a couple weeks ago.
I'm just saying, if it was a decade ago, the women, of course, would have been wrestling. If it was up to Becky, she would have been wrestling the next day. But because of the concussion protocol and all this stuff now, like I said, imagine how many people would have not been able to wrestle the next day after wrestling Vader.
Yeah.
After wrestling.
Even if it was just Vader, I mean, even back then, a lot of people were a lot stiffer back then.
She did have
I
a broken face, Todd. Broken face is pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Is it a broken face, or is it just a fucking broken nose, and they're just like, oh, she fucking has leukemia now?
They used to be like, so let's over-explain this. The clavicle, blah, blah, and now it's just like, oh, she got a broken face.
Her face was destroyed.
But you know what? I love that Nia's fucking taking this and fucking being a heel. Here's the thing. It's funny because...
Dude, you really like Nia.
No, I like it now because you look at all the smart marks getting so worked. Look how mad they are. Look how worked they're getting and don't even know it. It is hysterical.
Yeah.
Well, let's
that's
see what
the booking.
happens. She's going to get fed to Rhonda, so it'll be interesting to see how she's
at the
booked
same
after
time-
that.
At the same time, we talked about this last show. We all agree that she shouldn't be pushed, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm not saying you can't use her, but I don't know.
Especially the way they're doing it, where she's blowing on the. It's blatant what they're doing. I mean,
she's not a good talker, to be honest. She's a little awkward at times. There's times I just want her to be a fucking beast and just, well, not literally murder people like she did Becky, but I don't know. She's got some.
Broke her face.
you don't want her to
broke
murder
face.
people like other people in that family.
her second daddy, allegedly. That's the only reason she found the job. They don't like when they're told no.
Oh. Well, Tamina, I think we all agree, should not.
Garbage.
Oh, God,
God.
is she bad? Why did she do the splash
She doesn't
anymore?
even
It looks like
look
shit.
good.
No, she's
Honestly,
horrible.
I feel bad for Nia.
Right?
Yeah, I if that tag division comes, God, they'd have to pay me extra to get in there with Tamina and Nia. I mean, holy shit. Good God.
Well, there's our death match.
Probably. Tamina will be injured in the next week or so, probably. But
Tamina and Nia on a pole match. That's all they're going to be regulated to, is stipulations and matches. When it's the end of the feud, who's going to get to Nia and fuck up the other person's face faster?
They need to just completely do a risk assessment and just, like Nia just beats everyone with a bear hug. Maybe bring back the heart punch. I don't know, something where she can't injure anybody. And just, I don't know, leave it at that.
Backstage interviewer?
There you go. Yeah. But Tamina, there's no debate there.
Vince's
Todd has his Samoan girl fetish, and that's okay. But don't compare her to Vader, Todd. God damn it.
You know
There's
what's
only one
funny?
Vader.
I used to hang out. That's just funny you say that. I used to hang out with a group of Samoan chicks and their white friend. Yeah, I hooked up with the white friend. So. But I hooked up with the white friend, so go figure.
We will save that for Squared Circle Society After Dark, because I feel like there's more to that.
When is that going to happen?
When Ozzy doesn't want to come on.
Oh, okay. When Ozzy's on vacation?
There we go.
There you
I don't
go.
know. Maybe we'll do
go.
the Shade mid commentary for that.
It'll happen.
You know, we do need a Chris episode. Or we could do Santa with muscles. God.
Who here has seen Santa with muscles except me?
There has to have been. I haven't seen it.
Oh.
I haven't.
There has to have been like a Raw or a Nitro that was on Christmas, wasn't there?
Last year.
No.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they all had to work Christmas. Everyone was not happy.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, you're right.
Really?
Actually, yeah. Wasn't it a pre-tape though, Todd? I thought.
Nope, absolutely not. Everyone was pissed.
Okay.
Well,
They had
That's
to
gross.
work. Yeah.
well,
and New
I ain't
Year's.
saying anything. Fuck them. I had to work a job that was 365 days a year, so fuck them.
Yeah, it was a USA call. They thought because those episodes were taped, they had lower ratings. They found out they were wrong, and this year they're letting them tape.
Can you imagine how fucking sad it would be to watch Last Raw on Christmas? Like you're in your house alone. I mean, I'd hope to God you wouldn't have a gun in the house, because you might just end it right then and there if you were watching that Raw on Christmas. That would be sad. Yes.
Don't they
No,
you
you know
like
what?
to don't they always do like the cheesy like get together stuff on like Thanksgiving? I know they did that, but did they do that on Christmas Day too? Like, oh, it's so great to be around the families, and then just shoot yourself.
I don't know, but hey, we survived dismembered in December, so I think last night's Raw was okay.
December
that
to
is
December.
True. That is true.
You know,
both
that
the
one's
ECW
retired.
pay-per-view and the actual Saudi Arabia story.
Yeah, that's retired forever. That is never coming back. You can call that defunct right the fuck now after Saudi Arabia. You December to Dismember, I don't know how many we got, but that's all you're fucking getting out of that one.
It was only one. There was the last ECW pay-per-view.
That's true.
That's true.
And we'll never get a Bonesaw character ever anymore either. So that's how it is. I want a WWE version of Christmas Carol. We know who the ghost of Christmas Future would be with Benoit. I don't know. Vince should be Scrooge.
Sorry
Holy
to
shit,
interrupt, but I think we should save this for an episode closer to Christmas.
That is,
I'm
we'll
with
save.
Ozzy.
We're about at break point, and I think we have a song. I don't want to put anybody on the spot.
We do. Yeah.
All right. So we'll do that. And
It's
while
just
I brainstorm
the right to
this
censor song
idea.
once again.
We'll
I
be
finally
back
got
in
him to
3
do the right
and a
censor
half
song.
minutes. All right. We'll be back.
This is Ken Resnick, and I'm here to say we've got the greatest wrestlers in the AWA. But you're not here to listen to me mumble. Let's fill you in on the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Get on!
Wrestle Rock, be there.
We're the Midnight Rockers, Sean and Marty. We love to wrestle, and we love to party. You don't have to worry, we're not gonna fumble, because we'll be shaking through the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Out!
Wrestle Rock.
I'm the Sheik, and that's not funny. I got my army a lots of money. If Ganyan my way, I'll make him crumble. He be sorry, I did the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
Wrestle Rock, be there.
I'm Jerry Blackwell, and I want to see. I want to get my hands on that pencil neck geek as I watch the EDF Bumble. I'm going to make my splash in the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
The AWA, you, me, and Wrestle Rock.
I'm Greg Gagne, and I'm in a rage. I want Brody, and I want him in a cage. A high-flying drop kick will make him see double. I grind him up at the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Woo!
Wrestle Rock.
I'm Kurt Hennig.
And Big Scott Hall. As tag team champs, we'll take on them all.
So bring on the long riders, those dirtball dumbos.
We'll smear those bushes, do the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
This is Nick Bockwinkel, and I've got a passion. I'll get the title back from the humanoid Hanson. I've got the brains, and I'm not humble. I'll take the belt back and do the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
Wrestle Rock, April 20th, at the Dome.
Wrestle Rock, 86, be there.
Zbyszko. I won't be through till I get done slapping around Scott and the Duke. Gonna beat the ugly bartender into a bundle and laugh all the way doing Wrestle Rock Rumble. Ow!
This game talk got a mouth that won't quit, but I'm Scott Lagoon, wanna smack a little shit. And when I'm through, you won't be able to mumble. I'll be left alone doing the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Yeah!
Just one last word from the former champ Vern, but give it a lot of thought to one more turn. There's some old scores that still give me trouble, and I'm starting to get the urge to do the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
So there you have it, and now you know him. And on April 20th, it's at the Dome. So get your ticket to be under the bubble, because you two can be doing the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Do it! Wrestle Rock Rumble. Wrestle Rock Rumble.
The Wrestle Rock Rumble.
Wrestle Rock Rumble.
Dan?
Oh,
Dan?
that was
Lord.
awesome. That was awesome.
It just kept going.
Who was your favorite? I gotta go Dick Bockwinkel.
When I think of rap, I think of Nick Bockwinkel and Vern
I
Gogh.
do now. Well, here you go. If you want to own that, I'm posting the eBay link in our group. Dan, there's your next purchase. Go grab it.
Are you serious? Is that it?
Go click it.
All right. Look, because holy shit, what is it? How is this? Oh, it's a cassette.
Yes. Did you check out the price?
Whoa. $1,000 for 2 songs.
I was gonna say, but it has 2 songs.
$1,000? Are
you
you serious? $1,000?
There's $49 for 24 months.
You know what? If whoever posted that is listening to this right now, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Ridiculous. $1,000. Get the fuck out of here.
I thought that was going to be a CD for like 20 or 30, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to buy it after that. But yeah.
$1,000.
Where was the Hogan?
What an
Where was the
asshole.
Hogan N-bomb? He was in AWA. Make it a little more controversial. No, that's why I wasn't on it. But yeah. Do you have a year on that one, Todd?
Well, what year was the Wrestle Rock Rumble?
I think it was 92.
The
No,
tape
they were
says
gone
82.
by 92.
Why do I want to say 92?
I don't know.
Yeah, they had folded.
I'll tell you why exactly.
Oh
Bob.
shit! Yeah, I was
Because
way off. 86.
It was because it was such a good rap song. It reminded you of Dr. Dre's The Chronic, which came out in '92.
Yeah, dude, The Chronic is a good album. I don't want to get on into a music tangent, but
yeah.
Dre's beats are fucking amazing. I don't care what anyone says.
That might be the best song we've ever played because I don't think I've ever heard it. And God, that was obscure. Kudos.
Okay, well, Dan, then prepare to have your mind blown. There's a music video for it.
Oh yes,
Wow.
yes, dude, it's great.
Well, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, I mean, granted, it's not like I really grew up with AWA, but I've certainly seen my fair share of tapes. And
wait, you're younger than me, right?
I'm 32.
Okay, so like you weren't even born when that song came out.
No, but
oh, shit.
I was
watched
9.
a lot of tapes.
I was 2.
Okay.
Oh, that is so cool. Well, thank you. That was awesome.
Now we got to find Wrestle Rock in USA.
I was gonna say my mind's blown. That was so cool. God, I thought you were gonna go for the Hogan CD because we keep teasing that, but that was actually better than Hulk Hogan's album. That's how. God, that's so cool. All right, getting back on track. All right, so seems like this always comes up, but there's always like that little comment that gives you just a smidgen of hope. And of course, forgive me because I've already forgotten the name of the promotion, but the new promotion from Jericho and the Elite.
Is it All Elite Wrestling?
AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's AEW.
A&W root beer.
What are the prospects for their success right now? I mean, I know everybody loves Jericho, everybody loves the Elite, but can they really get something? I mean, again, obviously they can run another indie promotion, but assuming they're going for a team, I mean, what are their prospects right now? It's oversaturated.
It depends. Obviously, I think with how good All In did, I think they have a good shot more than anyone else right now. Even Impact is still just like, do you consider Impact number 2 outside of the fact that they just are number 2?
It really comes down to just the TV deal. I mean, more people technically get them than anyone else.
I mean, how many people does ROH? How many homes does ROH reach?
Less, and that's the problem. I mean,
and then how many people does
hard.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood reach? Because they have quite a good TV deal too.
They do.
Well, I'll put it this way: I don't get them, as far as I know.
I'm sure you do. You just don't know it.
If you get the Game Show Network, you got Impact, or you get Impact. So I mean, you might be able to get that on some
maybe I do have it.
channel. I know they do a lot on was it CW stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who's number 2? That's tough. I mean, New Japan is number 2 if you factor everything in. I mean, not even close. It's New Japan. But in America, I guess, technically you could say that. I mean, it seems like a lot of ROH is kind of going to be in a rebuilding mode.
I'd say ROH in the U.S. is bigger than New Japan.
Yeah, but see, they have I mean, they're kind of interconnected anyways, but...
Yeah, and exactly. So whatever New Japan is drawing is thanks to the American wrestlers, which is because of their deal.
It's an interesting debate.
I don't think they could draw without the American wrestlers. And yes, there would still be a few, but...
Yeah, no, they need that. Yeah, they definitely need their, Kenny Omega, AJ Styles when he was there. That definitely. I mean, people were giving it New Japan up for dead when AJ, Nakamura, and everybody left basically all at once. So I don't know. I mean, I get All In doing really well, but the thing is, can they do that on a consistent basis? I sure as hell, I think I would much prefer what these guys might do for a weekly TV series over what we're getting right now from WWE. I don't know. I just think there's too much wrestling right now. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think it will work. I hate to be the pessimist here. Ozzy, what do you think?
There's too much. Sorry to cut off Ozzy, but there's too much wrestling, but there's not enough good production value wrestling, which really needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I think with the fact that the Jaguars owner is involved in this, they got the money to do a good production run. But like all these like Fight TV and Powerbomb TV apps and everything, like that's all fine and dandy. There's a lot of wrestling product that we can see, but how much of it is on the same level as the Federation? And that's all that in terms of production, because that's all that matters. The mainstream viewer is not going to watch something that looks like it's in a bingo hall.
Yeah.
That's what was ECW's biggest issue, is they were in those smaller buildings. It got better towards the end because they knew how to light it up so where it didn't look as shitty. But I mean, the promotions that you see that you're saying that are, we have such an abundance of, is not good quality.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, no, production value. I mean, hell, even TNA now, kind of looks on the cheap side. So
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Ozzy, what do you think? I hate to be the pessimist, but what do you think?
I think to Bob's point, if you had something that just had good production value, it could generate something. It could generate buzz, because that's the thing, is that any competing wrestling product right now doesn't have the same production value. So to the average wrestling fan, they'll see that and think, oh, it's not as good. But then if they see something that's on par, they're going to be like, oh, shit. And then if they see Chris Jericho, that'll be even more of a like,
they're more likely to give it a chance.
Exactly. it's more attractive to the eye.
How do you think this will affect? I mean, assuming they're successful, that's going to hurt ROH pretty bad. I don't know who follows ROH super close here, but it's going to. I mean, Cody hasn't re-signed. I think the Bucks. I mean, it's going to hurt ROH pretty bad. They're definitely in rebuilding mode.
Yeah. I don't think ROH is going to get hurt at all. They're going to be exactly where they're at.
Yeah.
They're not going to go further south or higher up. I think they've managed well without them for years.
Yeah. I hope it does well. I keep thinking, and again, Impact's been much better lately, but if they keep getting this new TV deal, at some point I don't quite get, maybe a network would just say, well, shit. I mean, I would assume they'd be able to get it because they don't have the baggage. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the thing is they have to be profitable because I don't care who's behind it. Rich people don't like to flush money down the toilet. I don't know anything about this Jacksonville Jaguars guy, but
he's a big wrestling fan.
Okay.
I heard it was his son.
It was what?
Oh, it is.
I heard it was his son.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That the son of the owner is a huge wrestling fan.
So it's going to be like Dixie Carter 2.0 possibly.
Oh, jeez.
That's a good possibility.
We're losing $50 million, and I'm taking your toy away.
You know he's getting excited right now hearing this news, getting ready for his call. That's the smartest man in professional wrestling, good old Double J. He will work his way in there.
Oh, no way. I don't dislike Double J, but no way. That would be the worst. Oh, God. That would be the worst thing that they could possibly do image-wise. I think they're smart enough to know that. So
not if they bring him in behind the scenes, because he is, yeah.
Oh, no doubt about it. For all the bitching, I mean, I don't think TNA would have lasted as long as it has necessarily without him. It's just the image thing. I don't know. So, all right, so there's one other angle to this. I almost hate bringing this up because it seems like we always talk about it, but CM Punk, his recent comments, I feel like I always ask this, but maybe, I mean, that comment was kind of like, once I work out my shit, who knows sort of deal. Wasn't the typical...
What comment are you talking about?
Once I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but once he works out all of his legal stuff, and if they call me, I'll listen. I guess.
Because the last thing I heard this week from him was they're only trying to sign people that are just like me, and they didn't want me.
I heard that too, but he did say he would listen.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, God, you're so fucking just annoying. Like, get the fuck out of here already. Like, we are fine without you. Like, you are not the god you thought you were. Like, wrestling continued.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But it also, I hate to say it, that was the last character I was really interested in, and it's gone downhill since.
But do you really think that was entirely him?
I don't
entirely,
think it was,
but it might have. He might have been the guy that people were looking forward to that would sit through a Raw because, to your point, I'll sit through watching Val Venis get his dick chopped off because I'm going to see The Rock and Stone Cold. To some people, it was like, all right, I'll sit through this whatever because I'm going to see CM Punk at the end.
But even then, his character wasn't like anything great.
You know what he did right? What no one else can do? He pushed and pushed to make sure there was logic and it made sense. You couldn't forget something when it came to the CM Punk character, because he would go, well, we did this and this, so you can't just like, oh, that didn't happen, it happened, who cares? Because that's Vince's thing. Oh, no one remembers last week. He remembered, and he made sure whoever was doing what he was doing remembered. So that gave him the allure of it was a story that made sense.
I still feel that CM Punk was just like anyone else. He was the right guy at the right time. Because that's one of the reasons, like I was saying earlier tonight, was I go through ups and downs. This is the bottom. And then something comes back and brings me back in. CM Punk brought me back in during the early 2010s. But it's still, at the same time, I don't think he did anything. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, who did? I don't know.
I think who just fucking farted.
Sorry, I know I dropped my phone. I apologize.
Holy, it sounded like a fart. It was just.
Ozzy's not feeling well. He had a fart. Just let it be.
Okay, but I don't.
No. My farts sound more like a machine gun.
You mean like the Jake brakes when the semi's going down the freeway?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
One thing you said though, Bob, everyone is right person, right time. That goes to Hogan. That goes to Austin. That goes to The Rock. It's all right person, right time. It just depends.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the reason why we got to this was because we're talking about CM Punk saying like he's a god. But he's really not a god. He was just there at the right time. If Corey Graves was a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, then at the same time, I think he could have. Yeah, you really don't think Corey Graves is not a good promo guy?
It's a great promo
I don't like him as commentator.
But we're not talking about that.
I didn't know that.
About pro. You really don't like him?
I mean, no, but they're related at some point. Like CM Punk, when he did commentary, was entertaining. But I mean, I really don't. Well, first off, I don't like that he's on both shows because it's too much, and I don't like it. It doesn't make sense. I would much rather have a Raw commentary team and a SmackDown commentary team. At Survivor Series, it just made it seem one-sided. That it was mostly, and especially with Raw winning every match, like and even like he has not said anything where I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. He's been doing this for how long? And I guess maybe I shouldn't be saying, but like Jerry the King just set a standard. And people before him, like used to drop puns and like even Taz during SmackDown, he used to talk about Joey numbers and you like.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Why haven't they reached out to Taz?
He's done a couple of things.
He's got a daily radio show. He doesn't have time to come back and do commentary. He's on like CBS.
I like Taz, and I liked his commentary, but I don't think it would fit nowadays.
Oh, and I did want to say, the thing with Corey Graves that I don't like, he comes off like a bully a lot of the times, and not in the like JBL way where it's okay.
Yeah, he kind of I kind of get. I like him, but
and he only bullies the black people if you've ever noticed. No, he does.
Now I'm gonna note it. Now I'm gonna pay attention.
No, you're mixing up Corey Graves and Bobby Heenan.
No, he did too. He bullied Booker T. He bullied Coach, and he bullied Saxton.
Dude, that's all. Okay, you're taking. I mean, because you just named besides Saxton, he's all right, but the other two aren't the greatest of fucking commentators. Booker T is shit. No, Booker T is shit. As a commentator.
Wait, hold on a second. Regardless of how Booker T's commentary was, from a perspective of, hey, this guy's been a world champion. He's here to provide color. To see Corey Graves shit on him like that didn't feel right. Like, okay, like his commentary isn't great, but this guy is a former champion. Treat him with respect, dude. And then like it didn't make sense.
Just have a story come out that he fucked with Booker T like a piece of shit.
No. What it was He kept telling the locker room he was the locker room leader, and Booker T was like, "Fuck this guy."
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But for my argument, it was more on camera. Like, he was burying Booker T to make himself look better. Dude, you're just a commentator. Like, it didn't, I don't know. I didn't like it. And I guess
I guess if you have to see it in context, if he was, like, for what I'm thinking in my head is when they say fucking stupid shit, like what they point out on fucking Botchamania all the time when they do commentary, and then Corey just calls them out on that bullshit. Like, I have no problem with that. But if he's straight out just burying him just to what's the word I'm looking for? Just to bury him for no fucking reason, for no entertainment value to anyone else but his own, then that's a problem.
Yeah, sometimes the jokes will be too in a way. I have noticed that lately. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, that felt like that was just for him and not the audience. I have noticed that.
And he's kind of inconsistent because, the King, when Jerry Lawler used to commentate, whoever the heel was, he was always behind him no matter what, right?
Yes.
Now, I didn't like him, but when Enzo was heel, Corey Graves shouted on him too, and I was like, dude, you're the heel commentator. You should be – this is the Cruiserweight champion, and he's a heel. You need to be supporting him. Because then I had no interest – I mean, like, already, but, I mean, there was no reasonable interest I had to watch anything that Enzo did because literally not even the heel supported him.
He was too bipolar. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, if you're going to commit and you're the heel, yes, that I agree. I don't think he's a horrible his method needs to be, worked on a little bit. Yeah, he's got to be tweaked.
You know who I really miss? Is Joey Styles.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, I love Joey.
I remember when he came back, or when he became commentator on Raw, like, every match just seemed important again.
Yes, absolutely. But he just couldn't take it, unfortunately. But yeah, we do need a little. And I agree. Raw and SmackDown, he shouldn't be on both shows. I mean, love Corey Graves or hate him, he's not like so.
You know what? I was gonna go back to that. I actually like the fact that there's one person from each brand on both, because, or you get what I'm saying. Because then you can't then that person has to be on each side of each brand. They can't just pick one or the other.
If it was somebody
that
was like a strict commentator, like an actual play-by-play commentator, I could see that makes sense because you never see that commentator take any sides of anything. But to have a guy who jumps back and forth between cheering for the face and cheering for the heel, what direction do I have as a fan? Like, okay, I like Samoa Joe, whatever, but, like, it shouldn't just be like everybody just likes who they like, and, you got to have some sort of direction. Like, this is who the bad guy, this is who the villain is in this conflict. Sometimes we need somebody to point that out because sometimes somebody like me likes the villain and will sometimes fall out of that illusion that, oh, I'm supposed to hate this guy.
So here's my question for you, Ozzy, since you are the commentator and this was kind of brought up by you. What would your ideal commentary team be for the Federation? Who would your ideal team be?
Could I mix up past and present?
Oh, fuck yeah, go for it.
Okay.
We'll make it the dream commentary team question.
Oh, man. I would really like to see, because to your point, now, JR and the King, like, I love them, but I would like to see JR and Jesse Ventura.
That could be fun.
That would be.
Now, wait, did we get that in WCW?
I don't think we did. But it does seem like it would be a WCW thing. I was trying to think if we did.
I would want that more, though, after the experience. Because, I mean, like, you watch JR back then, he's obviously he's improved over time.
Oh, yeah, they have worked together. But, yeah, I see what you're saying. You'd rather see him in his exact prime of the Attitude Era with Jesse, not early, late late 80s, early 90s Jim Ross, where he's kind of the
Exactly.
more scaled back. You want the post cerebral palsy Jim Ross.
Okay.
Both are still
I
with us.
didn't mean that. But I will say I got to give an honorable mention. Like anytime Paul Heyman did commentary, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like my favorite line he ever said, Christian was coming down to the ring, and he says, "Who named their kid Christian? Did my parents name me Jew?" And buddy, me and my buddy looked at each other, and we laughed so hard. We had the DVR. We went back. We saw that shit again. That was brilliant.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
I do miss him on comedy. Well,
or if
you
you
know,
ever, like, when it was, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Ventura running for president?
No, I was
going to
say that
say.
when it was JR and Heyman, and they would be coming back from commercial or whatever, and like there'd be the product placements, but Heyman would be getting something over, and then you'd all of a sudden hear, "Do you want me to say this? I'll say this. Fine." And then he'll say whatever the copy is. I just laughed so hard at those times.
Yeah.
He's got one of the greatest minds for wrestling. In any aspect of wrestling, he knows what to do perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Heyman's a genius. I'm going to just say, since this sort of segues
Except
into
for money.
before we
Except for when
cut
it comes
out.
to money.
Right.
Yeah, he's not a businessman.
If
All
only
right.
he could work, he would have been a millionaire.
How hard are we going to pop? Because we might have at least a couple. Well, shit, the current one. I was going to say we may have multiple wrestling personalities on the debate stage in a few years, because Jesse Ventura seemed to hint that he's running. The Rock is. I don't think that's going to happen, but he has hinted at it. Can you imagine The Rock, Jesse the Body Ventura, and Donald fucking Trump on a debate stage?
Oh,
holy shit. Holy shit.
I don't know if The Rock can win. I mean,
I'm waiting for this. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Shit. I think at least but the issue with Jesse Ventura right now is he looks such like a homeless hippie right now.
He does. Hey, he showed his abs on TNT.
Is he
on
cleaned up?
TMZ.
If he cleaned up, he at least looks presentable.
No,
the problem is
his hair on the side. It looks like it hasn't been washed in weeks.
Well, that's why he has to get cleaned up and haircuts and go bald again.
You know, to be fair, if he was running for the Libertarian nomination, I think that might fit.
Oh God! How is Trump going to talk shit to the Body or The Rock, though? I mean, there's no way they would neutralize him. I mean, good God, I can just imagine
I think
The
you mean
Rock.
neuter him,
dude.
Yes.
Donald Trump.
We know you got some of that Stormy Poontang pie. It would be great. This is getting really good, but I know we're at the 90-minute mark, so I guess we should wrap up. Oh, I hope that happens. If it does, we are going to do a debate special on Squared Circle Society. And if you think it's impossible, Trump is president right now, so hey, it ain't impossible. Oh shit, Mark Cuban, another possibility. He's involved with New Japan, so we might have quite a few wrestling people. All right, so check out fleshwoundfeatures.com for all of your shopping needs, UEW merch, and my eBay page. That's all I got to plug. What else do we have to plug, gentlemen?
You can watch all UEW events on Vimeo. We have UITV. A new episode airing next week. That's going to be awesome. And then, you can check that out. We'll be dropping live on Facebook. Oh, fucking A. God damn it, motherfucker. Shit.
Wrong button.
What were you going to play?
Oh, I'm sure.
I had to get it in once. You know what I forgot to do? Well, whatever. Yes, Ozzy, and UITV's next week, correct?
Yes, it is.
All right.
I said that.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
excited.
I was looking for
Todd's
somebody.
too busy fucking with you.
He was looking for
Open
the
your
Roman
ears.
Reigns drop.
I was.
Dick.
Well, I do have a special outro for Bob, so since he requested it. So
Oh, really?
is that it? Yeah.
Sure. Love you, everybody.
All right. Good night.
We will see
Love
ya.
everyone.
Oh, yeah!